Hi, my name is Dr. Lady Espinal. Today I'm going to go over the HCG diet. So welcome to the HCG journey. Your goal as a woman is to lose half a pound to 1 pound of fat per day, and for men, at least 1 pound of fat per day. And this is basically what 5 pounds of fat looks like. So the way the diet's divided is that in one day, you consume 7 ounces of meat, 2 cups of vegetables, 2 Melba toast, and 2 pieces of fruit. And the way I normally tell people to divide it is, for breakfast, you choose your fruit and have your Melba toast. You can have coffee or tea. Just make sure that if you want to sweeten it, that you do so with stevia and not sugar. For lunch, you would have your 3.5 ounces of meat, as long as you avoid ground beef, processed meats, tuna, and salmon. And you want to make sure that you remove the fat before you weigh it. And also at lunchtime, you'll have 1 cup of vegetables, and the vegetables will be on the list provided for you. Just make sure that you do not consume any corn or carrots as vegetables, because they have either a high glycemic index or a glycemic load. Then for dinner, it's basically the same as lunch. You have another 3.5 ounces of meat and another cup of vegetables. What I normally tell people is to avoid regular beef or chicken. You want to make sure that it's organic, and that's because of all the hormones that's pumped into these animals. So if you can have organic, that would definitely be better. And then once you have your lunch and your dinner, then what you can do is have your other Melba toast and your other fruit. And it doesn't have to be boring. You can go online and you can look up recipes. For example, if it's time to eat your fruit and you want to have an apple, you can just peel the apple. You can chop it up, put it in a bowl, and mix it with some nutmeg, a little bit of vanilla, cinnamon, and some lemon juice, and then just put it in the oven and you have an apple pie. So it doesn't have to be boring. It can be, something that is going to be agreeable with your palate. In one day, you also want to make sure that you mix 1 tablespoon of Bragg's organic apple cider vinegar with water, and consume 2 cups of these a day. Also, you want to make sure that you drink about 2 liters of fluids per day. It's very important to keep yourself hydrated. When you're dehydrated, your metabolism actually slows down. And then as far as the way you cook the meat, make sure that there is no oil or butter whatsoever. You want the HCG to target your fat. You don't want to add any more fat on your body, because all these oils get absorbed. Also, for women, when you're on your cycle, if it's heavy, make sure you follow the diet, but you do not inject yourself on those days of your heavy flow. So there are 3 parts to the HCG diet. The first part is the loading phase. So the first 2 days of injection, you want to make sure that when you inject yourself the first 2 days, that you eat high-fat foods. This can be anything such as eggs, bacon, ice cream, or healthy fat such as avocado. But the goal is to have a high-fat diet the first 2 days of injection. Then the second phase would be the diet that I've already explained, and then the third phase would be following the diet for an additional 3 days after you finish the vial of injection of HCG, and this will be followed by a 3-week period where you consume no carbohydrates, so no starch and no sugars. During this time, you are able to eat meat. You can have the tuna, the salmon that you're not supposed to have while you're on the diet. And during this 3-week period, you may have beans, but only twice a week, because it's a starchy vegetable. What else? Another thing that's important is that there are no oils on your skin. So for men or women, you want to make sure that you use an oil-free lotion. I know Neutrogena makes a good one. Also, if you can, I prefer that you use a crystal deodorant. So basically, it's a rock, you wet it, and you use it. It's not an antiperspirant, it's only a deodorant. And I will give you a list of things that you can consume as far as makeup. I like Bare Minerals only because there's no whale fat, it's just minerals. So there's nothing that your body will absorb that it shouldn't absorb. And another thing that's very important is, if you do not lose any weight in a 48-hour period, you should lose, like I said, half a pound to 1 pound of fat, and for men, at least 1 pound. If you notice in 48 hours that you do not lose any weight, then make sure that one day you only consume 6 apples. So if, for example, Monday morning, you are 200 pounds, Tuesday morning, 24 hours later, you're 200, then Wednesday, 48 hours, you're 200, then on Wednesdays when you consume the 6 apples. You're able to drink the water and your tea or coffee, but make sure that you only consume 6 apples. what a lot of people always ask me is, well, how is it possible to only survive on 500 calories? The purpose of this diet is to undergo ketosis. And ketosis actually extends your life expectancy, and you're not going to die. I mean, you have a little bit of hunger pangs in the beginning, your body gets used to it, and the HCG actually takes your fat and converts it to energy. Now, anyone who follows this diet without HCG will start getting dizzy, start feeling moody, exhausted, your metabolism slows down, and obviously that's not healthy. You'll have headaches, you will not feel good at all. But with HCG, it actually uses your fat and converts it to energy. So you shouldn't have any headaches, your metabolism does not slow down, and like I said, you only target fat. So you will not be losing any amount of muscle. The muscle should stay the same. So if you're my patient, I will come into the room and speak with you further and go over the instructions on how to inject yourself. Once again, thank you so much for listening to this, and I really hope that you enjoy this journey and that you continue losing weight and staying at your optimal weight and never gaining it back. Take care.